Locked and loaded.
Welcome everyone. My name is Dr. Lockley. I'm the Lock of the Loaded.
And I'm Larry Humphreys, and I'm the Loaded of the Lock and Loaded. And we're here to talk about our podcast that we're going to have every week about talking about a variety of different things related to the autism and ABA arena. Dr. Lee, what would you like to say that you would like to add?
Yeah,
Lock it up.
So this month is Autism Awareness Month, Autism Acceptance Month. At our agency, Behavioral Autism Therapies here, we're actually going to be putting on a conference this Friday from 8:30 to 1 o'clock. Hope everybody comes to join us. We have a lot of presentations. Larry has one with the police officers. Want to talk about that?
Yes, we're really excited. There's been a lot of different situations that have manifested in our community. One related to Ryan Gaynor. And we want to make sure that our community knows that our police and our autism community is one. And we bring in police officers here to continuously unite our community and stay united. So I'm excited for that presentation. We have police officers from Ontario, from the Sheriff Department of San Bernardino, as well as the Chino Police Department. So we have our local police department that's coming, as well as parents and kids with autism are going to be on a panel, and I get a chance to ask some really great questions. And we're going to ask our parents and our community who's going to come. And if you guys are out there, please come. That's why we're here today, to invite you guys to our conference. And Dr. Lee, you're going to?
In terms of professionals, we are offering CE units for BCBAs for continuing education. We have a presentation for supervision in terms of the ethics involved in supervision. And we also have one in developmental milestones, what to look for in terms of the milestones for your children. So if you are a BCBA and want to get free CEUs, this is entirely free, please come and then you'll get some CEUs for that.
And I'm going to be there because it's so hard sometimes to get your ethic CEU units and or your supervision. So this is going to be, it's called Ethics and Supervision. And then we have our parent one, as Dr. Lee eloquently said, to make sure that our parents are just as sophisticated in understanding the developmental milestones and aspects for their kids. So we're excited. We have two different BCBAs. We have Gerson and Bruce, our BCBAs that are going to do our ethics of supervision. And we have Ileani and Madison that's going to do our parent supervision or training of development. And then we have a special thing coming.
One final thing that we're looking at in terms of self-care, taking care of yourself, is the sound bath. So we have
not that like this.
that we have professionals who come and show us how to just relax, take care of yourself, trying to decompress when you're a little bit stressed. We'll have her here. I think that would be real exciting to see.
It's going to be super exciting because sometimes we forget as individuals, and especially as clinicians, to take care of ourselves. The better us we are, the better we are for our community. And we have a chapter in our Cooper book called Self-Management. And this is just another way for you to know how to manage your stress, so that more great ideas can come and we can be the best we can be for our community of autism. So come on out. We have a professional sound bath, what would we call them? I'm a therapist, yeah. They're professionals. They do this for a living. They're a school. I want to say that the owner actually has a kid with autism, and it's worked tremendously for her kid with autism and also for her personally. So come on out tomorrow for our conference.
It's Friday. So
Friday. For Friday, thank you.
Right, so Friday morning, 8:30, we'll start with the continental breakfast, and then we'll start with the different sessions, and then come and get your CEUs. But we'd be happy for everyone to come and join us.
Yes, your voice is so important to this processes of us continuously grow our community of autism. So with the police officers, we want to hear your voice. We want to hear what you have to say, your thoughts. You're going to be really impressed with the panel and the list of things that we have. So we're excited to see you on Friday at 8:30. to join us to continuously learn. Again, our voice together is what the change in our community is going to be for the future.
And
So-
the location is going to be here at the office, 2930 Inland Empire Boulevard, Ontario.
Yes, in Ontario, California. So please come out, and we're going to have, like Dr. Lee said, I want to say we have a special sponsor that we're fortunate to have. Is Special Needs Coffee is going to be here, showing the amazingness of the kids that work there, that actually have special needs or some disability, and they're going to be serving coffee. They're going to have continental breakfast. I think they're going to have some really cool things. So you're going to have to come out. It's a secret. It's a secret, right, Dr. Lee?
Yeah, but I love this Special Needs Coffee Company. I mean, they're promoting independence for individuals on the spectrum, individuals with disabilities, giving them that opportunity for employment. Like a lot of companies don't give that opportunity. They're always shying away or saying, no, this is going to be too much. I don't want to deal with that. But being able to accept those individuals, giving them that opportunity to actually work in our community.
And Dr. Lee, you're so right. Why? Because where is that platform so they can feel safe? And sometimes when we put them out there and say, hey, work with everyone else, sometimes everyone else doesn't quite yet understand. But when you put them in a group of their own peers, really, man, they're flourishing. They're doing great. So that's some research that we're finding out, that this experience that we're so happy to be a part of is helping us understand the next generation of kids and how they can work and how successful that they can be for our community. So we're really excited. So this is what Lock and Loaded is all about.
Yes.
Is for us to be able to bring you information, bring you new and insightful things related to autism.
Right, so each week we're going to have this podcast. If there's certain topics that you'd like for us to discuss, let us know, send us a message, and we'll talk about it.
Yes, I want us to talk. This is something it's loaded. How can we make better therapists? Right? That's what every parent wants. A really great therapist.
Right. It's so hard right now to find that great therapist. We have a recruiting team that's doing a great job, but a lot of times they're saying, like, we don't have the bodies. So how do we find that great therapist?
And what do we do behind the scenes? I think it's important for everyone to know what all the processing that entails to create a great therapist. It's not easy. It's not just hiring them. It's the training. It's the proctorization. It's the support. It's sometimes the shoulder.
It takes the entire team, not just our team, but the parents as well. We want to make sure the parents are on board. If we
Yes.
don't have that buy-in, that program isn't going to run smoothly.
And that's what we want to talk to you guys about, parents. How can you guys be more bought in? Because you guys want the most perfect therapist, which you deserve. We know that. And we want to give that to you. But we want to work collaboratively so we can make sure that we are doing it not just, again, for the here and now, but for the future of ABA. This is something that when you look at the data and the research, the data has been so great when it comes down to the clinical outcomes.
Don't give too much away today.
Okay, that's right. I don't want to give too much away.
So,
You're right. This is
stay
just a
tuned.
snippet of what you're going to get with Lock and Loaded. But let's kind of give them a little bit more. What else can we share on Lock and Loaded? Oh, I'm loaded with some things, Dr. Lee. I got some
think
questions.
A lot of the questions I'm getting personally is maladaptive behaviors. How do I decrease the maladaptive behaviors? I think that's another topic.
I'm loaded. Why do I have to stop flapping? Why do I have to stop stimming? That's me. I want to be me, Dr.
Yeah,
Lee.
it can be you, but if it's interfering with learning, like that's when we need an intervention.
Learning. What about socialization?
Yeah, that too. So if it's interfering with any of those processes, we do need an intervention. So we want to make sure that we do have that autonomy, let them do what they want to do, but there are times when we do need to stop.
That is so true. And that's what we're going to do. We're not going to just act like we're the experts here, that we know everything. We're going to bring kids in with autism. We're going to bring adults in. That's the luxury. We just talked about this recently, that we have hired individuals at our company that actually have autism.
Sorry.
You know, we don't discriminate because we give everybody the opportunity for success. But how did that process come along? We're going to be loaded with that too in our podcast. Our podcast is going to be amazing. We want it to be very diverse. That we're talking about a variety of different things, from food, rigidity, to behavioral, from potty training, to actually...
Yeah, we have a lot of secrets out there that we are going to divulge. So
We
stay
do.
tuned for that. So,
And Dr. Lee has, so as you can tell, look at him closely, he has so many more years under his belt than I. I'm so young, as you guys can see here. You can see. So his years of experience working with, look how many years he's worked with Skinner.
that's good.
I'm just joking. He's worked with Lovas. He was Lovas's assistant at UCLA. So his level of experience is super diverse. I'm still young and still developing, as you can see with this young face that I have. But as my camera person is laughing behind, so thank you for that laughter. But we have experience. We develop token response systems, or the token response system. That's the number one system that parents and professionals should be utilizing in our ABA industry. And we'll be talking about why that's the number one platform or system to use or strategy. It has taken over token response or token economy. It has taken over response cost. It's kind of been the number one strategy that parents and professionals have responded to. So we'll talk about that as well. I'm excited.
I am too.
I'm loaded.
Do we have a regular set time where we're going to be doing this with the audience now?
We are every Friday at 1 o'clock. And if you can't catch us live, you can catch us over the weekend, because we're going to have it stored for you on our Instagram. And if you're not registered on our Instagram, please be registered on our Instagram page at BAT at Instagram. Behavioral Autism Therapy. Sorry, as you can tell, I'm not, that sophisticated with the gram.
Correct information. Let's see. Get on that.
And this is going to be enjoyable because it's live. You're going to really see different sides of us, the silly side of us, the professional side, the serious side, and I want to say a sad side. We're also going to talk about sad things. And one thing I do want to emphasize is we did lose a supervisor. And we want to honor her. Her name was Anna. She passed away of ovarian cancer just this past, no, not accurate. She did pass away of cancer, and I definitely want to give our condolences to her family, to the therapists, to the kids that actually got a chance in us.
Right.
I mean,
worked
we're
with
definitely
Anna
heartbroken.
personally, and she was very compassionate about ABA. She was a great clinician. So it just breaks my heart. So such a young age. So condolences to Anna and her family.
So we're going to be honoring Anna. We're going to have an episode just on her, just how amazing she was for our autism community. And we're going to talk about literally everything, the stressors. And then we're going to talk about the engine that people don't sometimes talk about with ABA. As this is Autism Acceptance Month, we talk about our kiddos, but we don't talk about the teachers. We don't talk about the therapists or the OTs or the speech pathologists. We need to really emphasize them, because without that entirety of a team, these kids probably would not be moving from autism awareness to now autism acceptance.
Right. We definitely need that entire team, that coordination of care, in order to have success.
Yeah, so we want to lock in and let's get loaded on hyping up our teachers. Our teachers are so amazing. Our school district personnel across this region, from Rialto to Menifee to Covina to Fontana to Victor Valley to Redlands. All of these school districts, if we forgot any of these regions, we apologize, because all of them are super amazing. And Rand, the SELPAs, the West End, the East End. We're going to lock in and making sure that we hype them up. Because like we said, these kids are doing amazing, but the things that occur behind the scenes, with the teachers, with the IEPs, all of those type of things. We want to emphasize it. We want to talk about it. We want to make sure that our teachers and our speech pathologists, our psychologists, our OTs, our advocates.
Right. I think a lot of times people think that these different disciplines are like battling against one another.
No.
But no, it's not. It's not the case. We want to make sure that everybody's working together, everybody's on the same page. That's how we get that success.
We're a team. If you look at an athlete could not do it without their trainer, without their nutritionist, without their coach, right? Without their trainers of other kinds. So that's us. We're all one to help these kids in this community of autism become what it is today. And these kids would not be amazing without parents. And we're going to bring in parents, because parents are, oh my God, they work so hard, Dr. Lee. They work so hard to make sure that their kid has the quality of life. And it's so admirable.
Yeah, we're going to work on getting a lot of guest speakers out here. I know that we've been working with some very high affluent, high entertainers, so we're trying to get those people in here as well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and autism is not discriminatory. It's everybody from, anyone can have a kid with autism. And we want to bring everyone in because it's so important that we as a team come together and we emphasize and appreciate. I think that's the one thing, is the appreciation that we have to should continuously put on our community. I want to appreciate parents for their hard work. I want to appreciate the service coordinators at all of the funding sources and at the regional centers. I mean, they are working so hard to assure that quality of service is manifesting. Teachers waking up, having 6 to 10 or 12 kids in their classroom, and sometimes all of them having behaviors, and then still having a smile.
yeah, I think a lot of these teams, they're pretty much underappreciated. A lot of times we don't hear the thank yous, so we want to make sure that we're appreciating everyone involved.
But in Lock and Loaded, they're not going to be forgotten. We're going to hype them up during our podcast. We're going to bring teachers in. We're going to talk about strategies, because we want to, there's two sides of it all, right? That's life. We want to talk about the goods and the bads. We're not going to hide anything. We're not going to scoot anything under the rug. We want to talk what makes a bad teacher. Why are parents so frustrated at IEPs? But there are some amazing teachers, so we're going to talk about it across the
We're
board.
especially on our own team, like what makes a good supervisor. Some supervisors don't go out and see the cases. Some people aren't looking at the data, so we want to make sure that parents know what to expect in a good supervisor.
Oh man, that is so important during our podcast of Lock and Loaded, that that you're locked in and I'm loaded with these questions. Because I got some questions about supervision, about why our supervisors, we have to really make sure that our ABA supervisors are going out. Because it can be easy to be inconsistent. And parents they want to see their supervisors every day. We emphasize the importance of quality, consistency. That's part of it. You can't just be the most knowledgeable person and then not be consistent. So we're in Lock and Loaded, we're talking about it. Because why? It's important for our community to be the best.
Right. Having that conversation, letting them know, okay, this is what is needed. This is what the professionals are saying. That way they're more in tuned into what we need to see in terms of all the professionals.
That's right. And guess what? It's not going to always look pretty. So we have to talk about some of the things that are not that great. So we can fix it, strategize, create better strategies. And our audience out there, hopefully you'll be putting some comments and say, hey, talk about this, or say this, or do this. And we're in our team that's behind that you can't see, they're going to tell us, oh, our audience wants us to say this, and we're going to talk about it in Lock and Loaded. I'm loaded. I am loaded. I am loaded for lock. Lock and loaded. We are ready to really challenge the ABA community, challenge the autism community with, everything that we have. We have over 30 years of experience. Him having 29, as you can see, and me only having one with my youthfulness. So I think ultimately we're going to come with a lot, and we have some we're not perfect. We're not perfect. So but the great thing is, we learn from our imperfections, and we can be able to teach and educate on the new clinicians on how to be better in the future. Oh, it looks like our team has a hand raised for us to talk about possibly.
So Claudia had just commented and said, talk about scheduling. They are bad at communicating and changing hours.
Ooh, that's what we have to lock and load on. This is what we have to talk about, Dr. Lee, is most people don't know it takes a team, right? And the team first starts off obviously with the person you see, which is the therapist. But the people behind the therapist are schedulers, our billers, our recruiters, HR team. They're so important to the processes. They're so important. And as Claudia says, as a therapist, the team has to be on point. If the team is not on point, guess what? It affects the therapist. It affects the process of what, it just affects their day. And when you're having a bad day because of what's something done, you're not going to be the best therapist for your kiddos.
In terms of scheduling, we're hearing a lot of times where the families only went a certain time, 4 to 6 or something like that. How do we get out of that rut in terms of having that family saying, okay, can I make adjustments? Can I do 3:30 to 5? What is it about that 4 to 6 stuff? It's hard for us as an agency to...
Any agency, right? I think ABA Field struggles because we do therapy after school, right? And school ends at 3 o'clock, 2:15. So there's a short window of time that ABA has. However, we have to make sure parents also understand our therapists. That they're there for the betterment of the community of autism. And the more experience that they have, the more ability that they have to work with multiple kids, which means parents' ability to be flexible, the more they're going to bring ideas and creativity to their session. If they're just working with that one kid, then their creativity and idea is just going to be stunted. But if they get experience working with multiples, and parents are open, and our team is open, but guess what? No one is talking about it. Where can you go in anywhere right now and talk about these things that happen in the ABA or autism community? Lock and load it. That's why we created it, so that we have a platform to talk about this, like Claudia. Yeah, let's talk about our schedulers, the people behind the scenes that our families don't see all the time, and how difficult it is sometimes to facilitate scheduling. It is difficult, and they're human beings. So I want to ask the audience a question. How many times meetings weekly do you believe that the scheduling team has with the clinical team? Let's see if our audience out there may know that how many times, I know for us as an organization that try to help with proficiency, what do you see out there as a possible amount of time? Anyone? Yet?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. But I'm going to just give you the answer. Probably like 3 times.
Minimum.
Yeah.
A week.
A week. And I know Dr. Lee is in their office all the time with jokes or just hanging out with them or whatnot. Because that's what doctors try to do, is to get to know their team, not just the clinical side, but the administrative side. So we meet with our team. We have over 1,000 families from here. Oh, we got another question.
There may have been a delay, but Gabriella said 3 to 5 times a week.
All right. Thank you, Gabrielle. That's right. We are meeting and we have one-on-ones, the supervisors, the BCBAs. The more communication that we put in, the more fluidity that we'll have for our parents. And most importantly, for our therapists. We can have kiddos out there, but if we don't have great therapists, and I have to say, we have really great therapists.
Yeah, I think there's one request that...
Not just BAT, I'm just wanting to say, but in the ABA industry, I have seen some really good individuals.
So just going back to scheduling, the one request that I'm hearing sometimes is, I need a male therapist. My child can only work with a
Ooh,
male
you know,
therapist.
I'll be honest, Dr. Lee, that kind of gets me a little bit because I'm a strong believer that females can do just as much as males. I want to say our female clinicians with the right ABA support can do, with the right strategy, can do equally amount. But I do know that there are some males that will benefit from learning from a male of how to be
The role model,
the
right?
role model and those type of facets. But when it comes down to aggressive,
Right, but when it comes out just maladaptive behaviors, females can do exactly the same thing as males. We're looking at maybe the child may be 6 foot tall, and we may need a bigger therapist. But in that case, if they're using the same strategy as the male, there shouldn't be an issue.
and I really believe that females can do just as much. However, there are times that a male may need for socialization purposes to learn how to be, and it's good to have males. And we have a lot of male therapists for those things to occur, but we do get those questions about female therapists, and I'll be honest, our female therapists are amazing, like literally hands down. So we really are challenged at times, but these are things that we encompass, ABA companies encompass, and we're going to talk about it. Why? Because it's nothing negative. This is all positive information for us to know how to concoct the best platform, the best service for you guys out there. And it's not just for one company, it's for all of these companies. We have the luxury of we're professors in this industry. And we've probably taught over 100 BCBAs that are currently in our industry. And they're not working just for this company, they're working for multiple companies that are out there in the industry. So we are contributing to the ABA, BCBA world. So we want to share that we struggle at times with making sure that our therapists and our clinicians are doing everything that is righteous. Right?
So this is an open platform. We have professionals, parents. If you have questions, things for us to discuss, let us know. We'll discuss it with you. We want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity, has a voice in order to continue this discussion.
Yes, and I think for this is discussion based, where we're bringing up topics, we're bringing up scenarios, we're bringing in people. But this Friday, we really want you to come in to our Autism Acceptance conference. Thank you, Dr. Lee. Our conference, and really get the research, the really core information that our team is going to be disseminating out that day. And these podcasts are going to be funny, like I said, at times. They're going to be serious. We're going to really try to make it upbeat and lively as we try to be for our team. So again, ask questions out there. Let us know. Every Friday at 1 o'clock, you'll be able to hear Lock and Loaded. And I'm loaded with questions. I got some questions for Dr. Lee has been in this industry as long as, not as long as Skinner, but he's worked with, as I said earlier, Lovaas. So we're going to be able to ask him questions. I have experience that I would like to just be able to throw out and ask you guys out there in the live world, in the Instagram live world as well. So we're going to be kind of collaborating with one another. We're going to, any questions that you guys may want to have, any issues that you may want to bring up, we're going to talk about it. We're not going to be hesitant to talk about it, but just know we're all positive. That's one thing about ABA and one thing about us, that we really focus on positivity and maintaining positivity, because positivity keeps us together and keeps us moving in the trajectory that we all want to move in, which is forward trajectory. So that's what we want to emphasize in Lock and Loaded, is positive conversations about how we can grow and continuously be strong in the autism ABA community for our for you guys, for us, right? Because we love what we do. So we're really excited, as Dr. Lee mentioned, during Autism Acceptance Month. This is a time, and I really want to emphasize one last thing. It's a channel. There's this channel called Autism Acceptance Channel. And on that channel, you can find all these cool things about autism.
And that's on the YouTube platform.
And it's on YouTube, that's right. There's gonna be like exercising, there's food, cooking. Because look, Dr. Lee, my number one thing, because we do ABA, and I always tell people, what's the number one thing so that you can be independent if you're just a regular person? I can't be independent if I don't know how to cook. So cooking,
you gotta know how to feed yourself, right?
that's right. I know I struggled my first year of college because I didn't know how to cook.
A lot of top ramen.
A lot of top ramen, Dr. Lee. A lot of top ramen and burritos that were warmed up. You know, those warmed up burritos with the extra hot sauce. So that's what college life is if you don't know how to cook, right? And I want to say cooking is what we want to share for our kids so that they can have that autonomy and cook for themselves, be able to have those desires to want to go to the grocery store and learn how to pick things out. And then the next behavioral cup is exchanging money, right? So they'll have enough money to go and buy more things in the future. But if they're not interested in cooking, then they're not going to take care of themselves, and all these other facets of things may not come.
Dependent on someone the rest of their lives.
Exactly. So that channel has cooking shows, it has the news, and it highlights so many great individuals that have autism all over the world. It has really great activities that I've seen that have been really cool and easy to do. So please be a part of our Autism Acceptance Channel. Subscribe. If you are a parent or a child with autism, you definitely need to subscribe to our Autism Acceptance Channel. And every episode, we're going to talk about it because what we're trying to do on Lock and Loaded is also, as much as we support our community, the more others are going to support our community as well. So the more we're maybe tuning in to Autism Acceptance Channel, the more people are going to want to be a part of it and tune in as well. So we're trying to create platforms for the future. And I want to say when we first started in this industry, there wasn't very minimal out there related to our industry. And we're so happy that we're having this opportunity to have podcasts, to be able to have conferences, to be able to have different things to be able to share with our community. And Dr. Lee, I should say Locke, what would you like to
I'm just
add?
excited for the following weeks. Make sure everyone tunes in Fridays at 1 o'clock. Let us know what you'd like for us to discuss so that we can disseminate more information to the team, to the community. I think that's going to be real exciting for everyone to see what it is that we want to talk about.
Yeah. So tune in next week. Next week's episode is going to be our first episode. And our episode is going to feature on the future of autism. The past, where we were, and where we're going. And we actually have some really cool special guests that we're going to have for our live next week. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for locking in, and we hope to see all of you guys and many more on Friday at our autism conference. And again, you can get CEU units, and parents, you're going to get information that you're probably not going to be able to get anywhere else. And talking to the amazing police officers about how to continuously build our community in one. So I'm excited for that as well. So thank you for today. And again, Lock and Loaded, we're ready for our community and for you guys.
All right. Thank you, everyone.